Americans can say goodbye to political ads and annoying polls for a while. The midterm elections are over, and we've got some local results for you.
And the fire in downtown Wilmington completely guts a local landmark. I'm Dolphus Pearson III.
And I'm Christina McNamara. We have it all right here on Carolina News Today.
It has been called the most expensive U.S. Senate race in history, and that race ended last night when incumbent Democrat Kay Hagan conceded to her Republican challenger, Thom Tillis, currently Speaker of the North Carolina House of Representatives. Video advertising seemed to be the running force in this campaign, with both parties having outside-funded ads on airwaves and on the internet. According to the Sunlight Foundation, almost $77 million was spent by independent organizations to help or hurt the candidates.
Voters' mailboxes in North Carolina's State Senate District 25 should be a lot less full now that the election is over. Incumbent Democrat Jean McLaurin lost to Republican Tom McInnes, although McLaurin carried Scotland, Richmond, and Anson counties. Direct mail advertising from both candidates gradually increased to a daily occurrence in the last week. McLaurin lost by a little more than 2% of the vote.
They're not in our district, but their race sure has attracted a lot of national attention. The duel for the District 2 House seat between entertainer Clay Aiken and incumbent Congresswoman Renee Elmers has been heated. Republican Elmers was victorious over Democrat Aiken in his first political competition. Elmers won the majority of the votes by 56%. The incumbent Congresswoman Elmers rose above Aiken in fundraising for the final weeks leading to Election Day.
In other local election news, incumbent Robeson County Sheriff Kenneth Seeley will remain in office for another term. Voters elected Democrat Kenneth Seeley over Republican opponent Randy Hammonds. Seeley has served Robeson County as sheriff for almost a decade. Hammonds, vying for the position for the first time, has previously served as a highway patrol troop commander. According to the Robesonian, federal officials observed the race in Robeson County to ensure there were not any voting violations.
The race for the single seat open on the North Carolina Court of Appeals was a tight one this year, with 19 candidates running. Critics of the electoral process say this abnormal crowding of the ballot can be overwhelming for voters trying to research the candidates. Many of the candidates, in fact, did little or nothing to campaign. The early retirement of Justice John Martin in August meant there was no time for a primary that would have narrowed this field. John Tyson was the winner declared last night with 24% votes cast. It turns out the American public fears the daunting task of being a political leader above any other job in the country. A nationwide survey of more than 3,000 American workers commissioned by CareerBuilder resulted in some other surprising findings. Carolina News Today reporter Morgan Sheehan tells us more.
Politician tops the list as the job people are most afraid to pursue. There are nearly 57,000 elected officials in the U.S. People said they fear the occupation because of responsibility, accountability, and rejection. The pay is not bad, though, about $175,000 a year. Folks weren't very happy with the idea of being a microbiologist for infectious diseases either. You can probably thank Ebola for that. Kindergarten teacher also made the list. The reason for that? Fear of being exposed to germs and tantrums. Mortician, another job most Americans said they were afraid of, but it's well paid at just over $23 an hour. The fear of heights led some people to say they wouldn't want to be a radio or cellular tower equipment installer or repairman. The survey shows only about 16,000 people do that for a living in the U.S. For Carolina News Today, I'm Morgan Sheehan.
Fears of public speaking and awkward silence keep people from pursuing careers as stand-up comics. And rounding out the list is a gig that pays nothing, parent. Respondents said that they are scared of that job because of, well, all the already mentioned fears.
North Carolina Attorney General Roy Cooper will be making a stop at UNCP during his College Cash and Credit Tour. The Attorney General will be on campus at the UC Annex Building on November the 12th. Cooper's topics will include information about making smart financial choices, resolving debt, and investments for the future. Student Body President Baruch B.K. Casal will be introducing Cooper at the event. All are welcome to attend.
The UNC System Board of Governors might consider offering cheaper tuition to out-of-state undergrads who live within 50 miles of North Carolina. The Budget and Finance Committee discussed details at their October meeting. Such board of tuition is already offered by state schools in Tennessee and Georgia. 6 UNC schools, including Pembroke, could offer their in-state price plus 10% to non-residents closest to them. The Board of Governors will hear a formal proposal in December.
The Food and Social Justice Speaker Series has brought some interesting guest speakers to the campus this semester. And typically it's the guest's first time here. But recently a UNCP alumnus came back to inspire students to get informed about agriculture and agricultural workers. CNT reporter Jonathan Woods has the details.
Last Wednesday, UNCP's Food and Social Justice Speaker Series featured Ramon Zepeda, UNCP alumnus and program director of Student Action with Farm Workers. The event featured a mural created by student farm workers and a documentary on the poor living and working conditions of North Carolina's approximately 150,000 farm workers and their families. Zepeda feels that events like this help bring awareness to issues facing overlooked farm workers right here in our own backyards.
Holiday tradition on campus will be introduced after Thanksgiving break with the lighting of Old Main. The building will be illuminated in a ceremony and stay lit through December holidays. University Communications and Marketing staff had an idea and they decided to make it permanent.
We were working on the holiday video card that the university sends out to all its friends and alumni, and we were talking about using Old Main as the symbol since we're adding that as our new logo. And we thought that we would put lights around the columns and maybe on the grounds, lighting, uplighting for the building. And then we decided, well, gee, if we're going to go to all that trouble, we should really make it an event, and maybe it could become a tradition for the university. So we're going to light up Old Main on December 2nd at 6 o'clock, and it's for the community. We'll keep it lit throughout the holiday season. Students will still be here, so they'll have 2 weeks to be able to enjoy it as well.
It's getting cold out, so students may be a little reluctant to go outside for exercise, but there's plenty of fitness activities indoors at UNCP, and it's all free of charge.
This year, the university has more campus recreation programs to help students stay healthy and in shape. Students and faculty members are offered various programs for workouts such as boot camp, Zumba, and advanced boot camp. Many of these programs take place in the Jones Center across from the UC. On Tuesdays, students can go to boot camp in the auxiliary gym, which is taught by Jamal Razul. In this class, students and faculty members will receive workouts that provide the basic exercises to help build strength and become more comfortable with exercising. The instructor, Jamal, provides thorough demonstrations of each exercise and modifies them for all fitness levels. Even though this is the basic level of boot camp, students face tough workouts that keep them moving for a whole hour. If students like to face a challenge, Advanced Boot Camp is held on Thursdays, which is also taught by Jamal Razul. Even though it may seem tough, Jamal hopes the students are able to learn a healthy way of staying active. Students can also visit the Campbell Wellness Center and the track located on the football field to use various equipments and exercise in a relaxed environment. The facility is free and open to both students and faculty members. For Carolina News Today, I'm Christina Vinson.
What do you get when you have students, a dark UC annex, a Halloween theme, and a laser? Laser Tag Madness. A student organization here at UNC Pembroke recently encouraged students to come out for a night filled with fun. CNT reporter Jamar Smith has the story.
The Association of Campus Entertainment, better known as ACE, transformed the University Center Annex into an arena full of ghosts and ghouls. Students came in full force to participate in the laser tag free-for-all. The students were given the full package, a playing field full of barriers and obstacles, sensory vest, and of course the laser guns. Members of the ACE staff gave the students a full briefing before entering the battlefield. There was even action music to set the mood and add a little bit of suspense. With rounds lasting 5 minutes and only 5 players per round, the entire event went on for 4 hours. Many students said it was a lot of fun, but the wait was a little long.
I thought it was really fun, I didn't know they were having it until tonight, but it was a fun time. The wait was a little long, and they only give us 5 minutes, but it was still really fun, and I really enjoyed myself.
They had the cool beepy sound effects and just the lights. It was really cool, spooky Halloween event. It was really fun.
Others said they enjoyed the night with their friends and are looking forward to more events from ACE in the future.
Just playing with my friends, I really enjoyed it a lot, so I'll let see more of that happen.
And this is my first ACE event I actually came to. I hope throughout my whole college career they have more like this.
This event and all ACE events are free to UNCP students provided they have their Braves One card. For CNT, I'm Jamar Smith.
Bravery comes in many different forms, and so do fundraisers. The Gay Students and Allies organization hosted their annual fundraiser last week to entertain and to raise the voices for acceptance and respect. Again, here's CNT's Jonathan Woods.
Last Thursday, UNCP's Gay Students and Allies held its annual Halloween drag show. Students were encouraged to come out in costume, and the show featured a host of professional drag performers, a guest DJ, and a chance for UNCP students to perform and be a part of the fun. Tickets for the sold-out show in the UC Lounge went for $5, with proceeds going to GSA for future programming aimed at raising awareness, pride, and acceptance of LGBT populations on campus. The event was open to the campus and the community and provided a chance for on-site or quick HIV testing. The show was GSA's most successful one to date and is a fundraiser for the group's annual campus LGBT Pride event in the spring.
A store in Laurinburg is a total loss after a massive fire on Sunday. The Super Dollar Store, still fondly known as Pope's to old-timers, burst into flames at the back of the store. According to the Laurinburg Exchange, the fire took 2 hours and at least 60 firefighters to get it under control, working until the late hours of the night to fully extinguish the flames. No one was injured. The property was condemned the next day. Pope's will be demolished, and a company spokesperson told the paper they have no intentions of rebuilding this World War II-era building.
The Disney Worldwide Conservation Fund has awarded a $25,000 grant to the North Carolina Zoo to support the zoo's Unite for the Environment program. The program has worked with the Kibale National Park in Uganda for 10 years to conserve wild areas and endangered species. The grant will fund teacher training in rural schools and field trips to appreciate chimpanzees in the rainforest. Wildlife habitats in Uganda are under increasing pressure from the human population growth.
It's the deadliest fire in Portland, Maine since 1963. Last weekend's 3-alarm fire near University of Southern Maine killed 5 people and sent 2 to the hospital. 1 is in critical condition in a burn unit in Boston, and 7 others made it out uninjured. CNN's Danielle Wall has the story.
Lost for words in terms of how fast this fire erupted. I mean, it was like an explosion. Like I said, I heard a couple pops, and this house within 10 minutes was engulfed with flames.
Neighbor Carol Schiller says the sound woke her up Saturday morning. She looked outside to see this home on fire and to see a neighbor try and escape.
The porch of Noy Street property over here was totally engulfed with like an orange blaze, and I saw a young man jump off the porch. He was totally engulfed with flames. He was rolling on the ground.
People nearby rushed over to help before the fire department could make it.
He was severely burned on a large portion of his body. He was pretty badly hurt. It's best, I didn't know at the time that supposedly he had jumped out of a window to get away from the fire. His clothes were severely burnt, and unfortunately, he was still smoking.
He says he didn't see anyone else make it out of the burning building, and he wishes he could have done more.
I really pray for that man's family and everybody who's lost somebody here, the neighbors who are going to feel, they're going to feel this for a while, and I'll certainly feel it for a long time, knowing that had I just gotten up those stairs, there's a chance I could have helped somebody.
An entire neighborhood shaken as they wait to learn what caused this destruction.
It's devastating. It's just devastating.
You've seen those calendars of nearly naked firemen or co-eds, or you name it. Now a group of seniors in New Jersey are following suit. Dollar Miles takes a look at why these seniors decided to bear it all, or at least most of it.
Ho, ho, ho. Who needs Santa Claus when Miss December is showing off so much skin? Oh, Did I mention she's 94 years old?
I wanted to go like this, but they wouldn't let me do it.
What month are you?
January.
13 months of hot, sexy seniors. Sales of the Cedar Crest Star's 2015 calendar exceeding expectations, raising more than $8,000 in just 3 weeks. I see you sitting here with a smile on your face.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at those lovely ladies. Wow.
Smiling and proud of his 88-year-old girlfriend, Miss May. Did you want to show more than just your drums?
No. That was just right. It was just right.
All of these photos relate to one of the activities or clubs on campus.
The garden is the backdrop for the two ladies of August.
It wasn't easy getting in there for her. No, in wasn't so bad. Out was the problem. One had to push, the other one had to pull.
Here's 85-year-old Miss September in the library.
We want to do it discreetly, so we did. Somebody slipped in 50 Shades of Grey there, though.
Shh, I'm all ready for my shot as Miss September. Oh, but it looks like I'm wearing too many clothes. Hold on. Not happening.
The idea came out of seeing it. One of our other neighbors brought a calendar from another Erickson community, and we saw it, and then we said, hey, let's do it.
They did it to help out their neighbors in financial need at Cedar Crest Retirement Community in Pompton Plains.
If you look behind it, you'll see we're wearing bathing suits or things that are draped here.
Well, maybe we shouldn't tell anyone they're not really naked.
Larry wanted me to smile, and he was hysterical, so I kept saying, sex, sex, sex.
Woohoo! In Pompton Plains, Darla Miles, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
We've got amazing footage of Nick Wallenda walking over Chicago, a guy walking on a dead whale while sharks are dining on it, and a blinding snowstorm. From CNN News Source, here's this week's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at this. Daredevil Nick Wallenda did not one, but two high-wire acts above downtown Chicago. The first one was nearly 700 feet.
You guys watching think I'm crazy, but this is what I was made for.
The second was only 600 feet above the ground, but he did it blindfolded. Wallenda made the entire trip in about 8 minutes on a rope no wider than a nickel. Take a look at this, an incredibly dangerous stunt by an Australian swimmer. 26-year-old Harrison Williams jumped on a floating whale carcass to surf for a bit. All the while, a pair of large great white sharks swam around the carcass, chomping on the dead animal.
Hey, the sharks! Come back! Oi, hands up, quickly!
His friends begged him to climb back to safety.
They was too busy chomping on the whale, so it wasn't too bad.
You weren't worried?
Nah.
So, what was the reaction to his stunt?
Mum thinks I'm an idiot. Dad's not too proud either.
And take a look at the first snowstorm of the season in Maine. The National Weather Service says a foot of snow fell Sunday. Crews are working to restore power to about 135,000 homes. Most of the car accidents reported were minor, but officials are urging drivers to stay off the road. For Take a Look at This, I'm Martha Shade.
Coming up in sports, two area football teams struggle to break their losing streaks.
And the Braves' new head track coach put his personal touch on the program. We'll be right back.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
Oh, this must be super embarrassing. Let me get that terrible driver I just got pulled over look. Wait, click. Perfect.
Whether you're a driver or a passenger, you're required by law to buckle up or face a fine up to $161. Click it or ticket. Every seat, every time.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Nah, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything. Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it. I got a pizza for a Todd. Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Good afternoon. My name is Chief Warrant Officer John Tatum. I'm stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I'm currently deployed to Kabul, Afghanistan. I just wanted to take a little time to send a shout out to my family, my wife Stephanie and my son Dutch back at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and thank you for the opportunity. Go Panthers.
Braves football looked to end their losing streak against the Tuscan Pioneers in a game that had both teams battling in the trenches. After a first quarter Pioneer touchdown drive, Seth Owen and the offense ran an 8-play touchdown drive to tie the game. 2 scores later, Tamari White ran in for 6 yards to capitalize on a 50-yard drive, sending the Braves into overtime. Connor Haskins improved his field goal percentage with a 48-yarder to give the Braves a lead, but it was countered by Pioneer wideout Deion Hicks, giving the Braves their 7th loss. This is now the 3rd game that the Braves have lost by 6 points or less. With 2 more games remaining, the Braves look to go all out for the seniors, facing Valdosta State Saturday in the last home game of the season. The Lumberton Pirates squared off at home with the Scotland Fighting Scots in last week's Friday Night Lights matchup. Lumberton's offense was quiet throughout the first quarter, allowing the Scots to take a 28-point lead. After trailing at the half, 49-7, Scotland backups were put on the field to rest for starters. Lumberton tacked on another score to make it a 35-point game. Pirate quarterback Josh Smith threw 9 for 13 with 154 yards total, while Stephen Green was the offense, scoring the 2 touchdowns with 151 total yards. Next, the 4-6 Pirates will face the Rams of Pernell Sweat as they near the end of the season. The volleyball team captured a couple of victories in the last home stands this season last week. The Braves had their woes on senior night with a 3-0 loss, but recovered with 2 wins against Georgia College and Fayetteville State. Nicole Matthews had 54 kills along with Jada Vernon, Caroline Preden, and Cecilia Brandon, who each had over 15 kills for the week. Danielle Brown had 70 digs for the week, which led the team to a successful homestand. The Braves take a road trip this week and will finish the season in West Georgia and hopes to get a 500 record leading into next year. The Taylor track is a home of sorts to the men's and women's cross country and track teams. It's a new home now for head coach Peter Ormsby, too. He's a Maryland native who most recently coached in Florida. CNT's Jasmine Edwards shows us how Ormsby has added his personal touch to the program.
Coach Peter Ormsby, better known as Coach O, is the new head coach for cross country and track and field at UNC Pembroke. Athletic department officials announced his arrival previously in the summer and look forward to the experience he brings both to the teams. Ormsby comes from Babson Park, Florida, where he was successful at Weber International and served as head coach in different athletic programs. He also has the experience of a national championship under his belt and allows music at the track on certain days to make practices more enjoyable.
Well, right now, main focus is cross country because they're in season. Guys' regional rankings just came out today, and they're 5th, which ties the highest since about 2011. So ultimately, the goal for all the program is to get to nationals, whether individually or as a team. Ultimately, is just to get more people to nationals and then bring home a conference championship to Pembroke.
Ormsby also has an interesting collection in his office that brings both smiles and laughter to everyone's face. Gnomes, yes gnomes, and not your average garden gnomes, but fun and trendy gnomes that draw attention to anyone passing his office. Ormsby believes they are great conversation starters and has a story behind where it all started.
For those that have been in my office, I have a collection of gnomes, and then I've got the SpongeBob collection. So it's just, I picked up the Travelocity gnome, and it became the team mascot for a couple years, and it just kind of spread from the Travelocity gnome to a Weber gnome to the Florida State gnome. So it's just a nice little conversation starter.
Athletes from the cross-country team believe Ormsby is a great addition to the team and look forward to the upcoming season with him. Senior Nick Tambrero and junior Jordan Wilson spoke regarding Ormsby's arrival.
I mean, it's great so far. You know, he's been a great guy. His workouts are working for us. Everybody's having PRs at practice already. I mean, he's a chill guy. He's got a tongue ring. I mean, that says enough right there.
Well, we came in way better than we ever did before in cross country, so I think we're moving forward to a good season.
Assistant coaches are enjoying Ormsby's arrival as the new head coach and think he's doing a great job so far. They expect great things from him this season ahead. Assistant coach Adarian Barr spoke on his thoughts about Coach Ormsby.
I feel great about it. I think he's doing a great job of bringing in fresh ideas and a different style of the program and moving it forward in a nice progression.
Coach Ormsby's bubbly personality and uplifting spirits keep both men and women's cross country and track team at their best. Not only does Coach Ormsby bring experience to Taylor track, but he's bringing his dance moves along with it. For Carolina News Today, I'm Jasmine Edwards.
Men's soccer had an up-and-down road trip following the USC-Aiken and notching a victory at Chowan. The team had a total of 27 shots with 10 of them on goal for both games. Kenneth Perkinson nabbed a total of 7 saves while only allowing 1 goal in those 2 games. Defender Clayton Ganaway scored his first goal of the season by heading a free kick into the near post. After these 2 games, the Braves maintained a 6-7-3 record heading into the PBC tournament quarterfinal game at USC-Aiken. Women's soccer faced USC-Aiken and Columbus State in their last 2 games of the regular season. Braves keeper Janae Aiken had a total of 17 saves in both games and could only do so much, allowing a total of 3 goals. Braves offense managed only 18 shots from these games. Forward Amber Watkins scored the last goal of the regular season and her 6th of the season for the Braves versus USC-Aiken. They will travel this week to London for the PBC tournament quarterfinal game. The wrestling team debuted last week at the Citadel Open. Redshirt senior Terrence Zowski took the title in the 174 weight division. Zowski beat out teammate Ridge White in the championship bracket with a 5-1 decision. A dozen Brave wrestlers recorded at least 2 victories for the day. Juan Stimson and Zowski each nabbed 5 victories, which was the most among the team. The Braves will travel to Belmont this week for their 2nd match of the season. That's all we got time for in sports. I'm James McGee.
And I'm Dolphus Pearson. Thank you for watching Carolina News Today. We'll see you next week.